Something new, are you? Oh. Well then. Nothing new at all. Oh, you don't look happy. Concession gone up, has it? This economy costs an arm and a leg for this sort of thing, this kind of show. Hands and a tongue, if you're lucky. Show me yours, eh? Oh, be a lady, love. Lady, yes. Straight up, upright, leg over leg, smooth skirt, tongue in, tongue, top of mouth, push up, upright, hides chin in photos, tongue click, 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 photos, looking nice, tilt chin, alter tongue, 37 degrees optimal, smooth skirt, smoother, better, upright, uptight, upstanding, family, up, down, sit, down, family portrait, ladies, sit, house of men, house of cards, but ladies are the pawns. Ladies smile with tongue, pawn takes rook, keeps tongue away. Knight takes queen, do I look nice? King takes bishop, dad. 3 knight, 2 knight, 2 knight, pawns. Brother, 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 brother. Ugh, mouthful, innit? Baby boomer is right. Still, everything drills in. Ugh. It's not even comfy to sit with your legs all cross-like. Hot cross buns and your buns go numb and it's all sticky, right? Sticky and hot, and surely that's not lady. Like, legs get hot when legs get crossed, like hot cross bun, but it's tradition, right? It's tradition. Ceremony, religious sacrifice or thereafter. Sticky bowls between your hands, wooden stumps to stir and knead and split with razors through fleshy dough, across the floured crown. 1, 2, 4, that's all of them. Third we forgot about, we all did. All of us. Which is sad, you'd think, but think how many sons we buried. At least I was. Très nouveau, kinda nice, if you think about it. Body glazed, ravenous hound upon my own skin. Is there even anything to bury? Commemorate? Celebrate? Not that I was worth it at all much. At least not time I died. What was I of note? Tasty. Yes, oh, we love a tasty bun, except we don't, because unanimously hot cross buns are fucking disgusting. Sorry. We make them for tradition. Think, this time, sure, I've done it right. Poke it, prod, lick, peel off cross, bite, spit immediately. Drink, regret, think Jesus died for this? Well, plenty die for nothing. Oh, look at him. Take our sins away, did it? Let us think we get away with plenty more like. So bear thou my hand, sweet wench between thy teeth, and with it make baked goods. I suppose it is a nice family time. Very kid-friendly baking. Lots of fond memories. Most of them, in fact. The kitchen. Knives. Scorch. Pastry. Final sight. Didn't even get to taste them. Bit bollocks, really. Ladylike language. God, see, having trouble with the tongue, sorry. Only just got it back. Well, not only just, but... I mean, who knows how long we've been in here. Her glaring at me. Yeah, you! Oi! Oi, Tammy! Only joking. She's not even here. She's not enough of a sado, apparently, because she did bad things too. Because she took back power, apparently. Because apparently sex is power. Even though it's all just power play we never get to play with because we're the dough that gets pounded on the table. The Play-Doh, the dodo, the dodo I wish was really extinct, the hot cross bun you spit on. Because if we're hot, men get cross, they can't have us, so they spit on us. Or in us. Classic. She's not even here. Can't even see her be miserable as me because I only went and died before her, and if that isn't bullshit, I don't know what is your problem, Lav? It is not that hard to keep words out of your mouth, just... Then maybe it's all just classist. So-called sweet cell of virtue and nobility. I mean, everything is, dying especially. Do you have any idea how much funerals cost? Like, wow, it's already painful enough, no need to make it worse. And it's usually the most undeserving who get the biggest ceremony, headstone, monument, whatever. I mean, look at Jules over there. Jewel of her parents' eye. They just want to set her up nice, but no. She pulls a typical teenager and kills herself for some bleeding heart baby boy she met 5 days ago. Really, Juliet? Was she remembered as? Greatest love story ever known. Truest tragic heroine, please. She barely suffered. Not that it's a competition. All of us, our whole gender, suffer, but I just wanted a nice cremation, maybe. Sprinkle on some flowers, people wearing colour, happy send-off, you know? I was never one for ceremony. Just lived my life, right? Raised a nephew by myself, practically. Didn't know much outside of reading and playtime. Wedding was about the only ceremony I saw, which was actually really nice till the honeymoon, but hey, can't be the only one. Oh, well, not so much trouble in paradise as murdered in the woods. Because I wasn't exactly allowed in the Senate for formalities, was I? I mean, look at me, far too female for that. Still, did manage it. Only took a handful of psychological traumas and filicide to get there, but wasn't it worth it? Ah! As for that heinous tiger, Tamora, no funeral rite nor man in mourning weeds. Her life was beast-like and devoid of pity. And being so shall have like want of pity. Except, pity's not really what we want. Is it, really? We kinda just want to be heard in our own words, difficult as that is to understand or phrase when a man's always been behind our machinations. Lives scripted from start to end. Ending up on pedestals with captions as to how much we've been through, and people read them and say, oh yes, this is bad, how awful, and move on. Pay concession again. Put their ticket in a scrapbook. Fold down the page so people know how educated, informed, empathetic they are to our plight because they've encountered us at arm's length. Further, if you want cheap seats, behind a pillar even, but therefore think they know our lives. Our reality. But reality is entirely unreal. Conceptual, perceptible. If I'm being real with you, honest, the palace is full of tongues, of eyes and ears. The woods are ruthless, dreadful, deaf and dull, but in riot or in quiet, we're not exactly heard. We can say we've been raped with brutal, unvarnished clarity, perfect pronunciation, pace, pleading, with tongues, eyes, ears, that our ruthless, dreadful, deaf and dull will say louder. We've been pleading apace, pronouncing our clear desire through clothes that are too short, playing the flirt, playing coy, dumb, ignoring advances, walking away, playing the roles we've played since birth, the fool in floozy's clothing, playing opposites with no, when of course we mean convince me. Playing back our words in reverse and strangling us with tape recorder thread until our vocal cords scratch like records and play the tune they want. Playing it out like Mr. Director told me, no, not like that. Closer, tighter, better, harder, faster, more face, more tears, but not ugly tears. Like a weeping welkin, Lavinia, and I the earth. Now sit down. Sit down, there, against me, opposite me, but yes, sit. On a lower level. On your knees, if you're going to play it like that. This isn't real, yeah? Artifice, acting, or don't you want this part? She's iconic. Shakespeare's tortured. Yes, I said on your knees. On your knees against me, opposite me, but sit and don't bother crossing. Not for your God, not for your legs, just sit! Oh, sweetheart. Oh, unwitting, thy cheeks look red as Titan's face, blushing to be encountered with a cloud. And that's all it takes, right? One blush, One rush to the head, hands, thighs, anything in between, and it's an invitation in wax. They take special pains in melting. 'Tis well, Lavinia, that thou hast no hands, for hands to do Rome's service are but vain. No, you don't want my hands, do you? Hands are for scratching, stopping you, slicing it off in front of my face, because at least women are used to blood. I think of it crushed between two rocks. That's what they did to them in those days. Should have been my teeth. Should bring it back, really. Like to see him try it then. Still would, I'm sure. Because she is a woman, therefore may be wooed. She is a woman, therefore may be won. She is Lavinia, therefore must be loved. Must be loved. Yes, we all think we must be loved, must be lovable. Boil everything down, teeth, eyes, everything, bones and worthy stock ground up into bread. That half-baked promise of being loved is all we really want, after all. I say we, but we are always divided. Good luck ever thinking we're united by anything. It's a constant war of hormone, duty, fear, rage, gender, sex, nature, nurture, revenge, rape, murder, love. And it only grows fiercer through time. I say we, but we means women, or we means me. Men will launch, rage, finish, think they've finished wars for love of country, noble petitions, patrons of their right, expecting always that love due back and in submission. They can be gone 10 years or more with nothing intermediate and return, expecting their hidden jewels to remain pure, no drops of dust to crown the head of Rome's richest ornament. But my husband is no dust, even buried in a ditch. You'd think my love meant nothing, my life, father, my voice, as if that's what you cared about when I lost it. Rape, call you it, my lord, to seize my own, my truth-betrothed love, and now my wife. No, you kill my kin for helping me choose love, when and where I had choice. Oh, halcyon days! My own father, at whose feet I wept for finally returning. My own father, at whose hand Mutius, most deserving, most loving brother, was slain because I chose another brother, because I chose Earth above Saturn. And now all of us are in the earth. Even Saturnine lost his rings. Round his finger, then his head, then all at once when skies came tumbling down at dinner. Not so much a kitchen sink drama, albeit two fucked up families, messed up, Jesus! Not so much kitchen sink as whole house flooded. Guess it's a good thing there's a fourth wall, right? Far too easy to drown. Funny little thing, choice. Rife with consequence, sequence, consequentially, endlessly encircling the worst thing in that little equation of yes, no, maybe. Say yes to Saturninus. Be Rome's royal mistress, mistress of my heart. Choose crown, influence, husband. Miserable, affairs, drinking, children, divorce, disgrace, death, forgotten. Say yes to Bassianus. Lord Titus, by your leave, suum cuique, he takes what is his by right. Choose honesty, love, her crown. Her influence, husband, widowing, rape, silence, mutilation, murdered, remembrance, infamy, quote-unquote empowerment. As, of course, he lives in fame that died in virtue's course. Because virtue's really all men care about, right? Being and seeing themselves spotless, untouchable, clean as a whistle they'll never have the balls to blow on each other. Clean suit, clean conscience, clean reputation. As if reputation bears more weight than trauma or truth. Just think how many careers have been ended by false accusations. Look at a woman wrong and she'll say she was assaulted. It's so hard to be a man these days. So scared of doing anything at all. Well, in that case, maybe we're closer to unifying than I thought then. At least fear puts us all on the same page, because this book could go on forever, rolling out until the stage drops off and we're in the smoking pit. Still, they will go out of their way to protect themselves, chop up and distort any real cry for help, tie or cut the hands of any opposition by their own hand or the victims. Again, Dad lost his hand to save my brothers' lives, but what for me? Why even ask, when it's what we always knew, for he that hath wounded her hath hurt me more than had he killed me dead. Normal, is it, to fancy dying over accepting someone else's trauma? One that in no way affects you, one of 3 most powerful men in Rome. Or rather to fancy doing in your own daughter because of it. Oh, sorry, I forget. I stopped being yours the second you knew. Any of you. Uncle Marcus finds me. He finds me like that, and what can he say? What a shame I can't play harp anymore. What a shame I can't hold a man I don't even love. What a shame I can't sing your praises. What a shame I am your shame. This was thy daughter. Was. Is that all you can say of me now? Oh, had the monster seen those lily hands tremble like aspen leaves upon a lute, and make the silken strings delight to kiss them. Yes, sorry. I should have stopped my rapist by tempting them to some light acoustics in the evening. Yes, sorry, why didn't I think of that? Sorry. Sorry this object kills you, Lucius. Sorry, Father. Sorry. I'm 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 sorry. Oh, you can tell I learnt my lines, can't you? Get real good at apologising after a lifetime of it. All those rehearsals really paid off. Don't even need the curtain up, do we? Wouldn't want to scratch the ceiling. All that glass was expensive. Mad trouble if we marketed it all. Wouldn't believe how much effort went into setting it up in the first place. Best just to leave it as is, yeah? Oh, you probably think I talk too much, don't you? Well, how else am I supposed to get anyone's attention? Half of you won't even look at me. You won't even give me the time of day, and you paid for this, didn't you? Does anybody ever come for me? Really? Really? Not for the real me, not really. You come to see the shell, right? The pure porcelain carapace you get to spend your nights slowly cracking open. Never stay around to put me back together again, though, do you? Sit in your little tight chairs with your velvet, very little legroom. Well, snap, we have one thing in common. Wait for things to get dark and watch as they get even darker. You get respite. You get ice cream. You get the luxury of knowing it's not real. It's not real. Artifice. Acting. Well, that's the thing. It's not. It's always real. God, I wish you knew how real it was. How when you've filed out, gone home, grab a drink as a night well spent, left it all behind, you've left me too. Stumps and all. Of course my tongue didn't grow back either. I still can't say their names, write them without ripping open the stitches, because how do you cauterize this much of a wound, this kind of rift inside? No. I had to take it back, dig it up from the place it was cut out, buried all that time ago. I had to use a clamp to keep my mouth open while I sewed it back inside, choking blood and tears for all the good it did me. How to do that without hands, you ask? Well, you don't even want to know how I got these back. I just want my old voice back. This isn't what I sounded like. You'll never hear her. Not the real Lavinia, because we never do until we are her. This tongue doesn't behave. These hands don't do what I tell them. This tongue won't be clear. This tongue won't... Really, all I want is to run again. Roam far and away. I was a little girl, running on a dark street. All around me with shards of what seemed to be pieces of the road, floating slowly upward, as if the sky were calling them home. Suddenly I stopped and I wasn't the girl anymore. Rather, I was seeing her from behind as the still scene painted a picture for me. Shards floating all around a lonely girl on an unlit street as she stared to the horizon, where I could see the silhouette of the indelible, unbearable, irrevocable behemoth. You tell me to point, and I do. You tell me to name him, I do. Finger poised, point and fly, loosing arrows to the gods for war, and you let them fall like paper aeroplanes. Swat them down if any make a lucky break, because he's already made his. He is a god now, they all are. Untouchable in their fame. I point again. My whole arm extends, you cut it off, not just the hand, but all of it. Hits the ground and pouring, trample it with hooves. Other arm, no, leg, it wasn't. Wobble, trip, stumble, fall, writhe, crawl. Can't you see what this must be like for him? And there's a heel arched over my neck, pins me down, dominating. They kick off my head, hold me up by the hair to watch as the rest of me is picked apart and minced, piece after piece, forced and shoved and lovingly ached through the meat grinder, strung along and strung along some more, because suddenly I'm the one under investigation, scrutinized for every scrap of dirty blood as I'm thrust on through the butcher's press. And it's blunt, the justice's hammer, when I'm already so tender. And that's what really hammers home, is there is no justice. Not for women like us. Not for women who gladly bleed to keep the peace, who suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous... Scratch that. That's her line. Thing is, I wish I was like her a little bit. Not her over there, I mean, Tamora. Because she did bad things too. Because she took back power. Because she saw what was wrong and she said, fuck you. No, I'm not going to be sorry for that this time. Tamora was a piece of shit and an enabler, an accessory, but she did everything I wanted to do. Not the plotting, murder, rape or anything, course not, but she took charge. She used everything women are put down for to get what she wanted. I never did anything bad in my life, frankly quite a doormat, because how could I? Family had already lost so much, Dad had... Well, losing 24 of anything hurts, let alone your children. And Mum. So I let him walk all over me. Wipe the blood from his boots across my hair when I knelt down for him. How could I say no, when I was the only child life hadn't denied him? I was all he had. And as we know, it's our role to honor and care for our men. But Tamora said no. A big old fuck you to everything and everyone, to duty and rules and female expectation. She harnessed it all. Every feminine thing, and took power back. Because apparently sex is power, like I said before. Sex is power in certain scenarios, as I think we're starting to learn. And I think that's what angers them most. I just wish the female experience didn't involve so much suffering and sacrifice. That, too, is apparently a wild political statement and sure to have pissed some of you off, just like my swearing. Well, in her words, fuck that. My body, slashed and stumped and centuries on still dripping, has been made so problematic I may as well just shrug it off, become disembodied spirit. No, suppose that's not really a personal anecdote, more of a blanket statement for the world men proudly make the conscious choice to keep spinning the wheel of with their little fat hamster legs. A woman cannot breathe without either being told her lungs make her look fat or how good she'd look panting beneath them. What to do with that, beyond the go-to of grin and bear it? Because you can sit a girl down, talk to her for 15 minutes, and you will literally have a personal vendetta against her father and every other man she has interacted with throughout her life. I wish this was hyperbole, was in some way some anti-man comedy sketch, but famously it's tragedy you people delight in seeing. In knowing you're safe, that at least you're not them. And well done. You're not me. You're outside looking in, and what a lovely nightmare it is too. But you know, there hasn't been any thank yous. There isn't a congratulations. There was no I'm so sorry. There has been no you shouldn't have had to. There has only ever been it's just how the story goes. It's just how the bard wrote her. I'm bored. Let's leave in the interval. Well, it's not that bad. She could have died, too. Was there a point? It can't have been for nothing. Please, tell me one of you can hear me. Tell me that... Just... Can anyone hear me? Hear me. Anyone. Can you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you hear? Do you hear? Do you hear? Do you hear me? Do you? Please don't tell me I was whittled away for nothing.